Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a fun one because we are going to be playing with dirt. More specifically, what we're going to be doing is we are going to pot up our indoor African violets. So you might be asking yourself, what's an African violet? What these little plants are is they're predominantly house plants, but they are native to Eastern tropical Africa. And what makes them great house plants is kind of how they grow in the tropics. So they grow way below that tropical canopy, and they thrive on indirect sunlight. And what do we have a lot of indoors? Indirect sunlight. So if you have a somewhat slightly sunny window, or not really a sunny window, these things will thrive and they will do wonders for your interior design or interior houseplant decor. So we're going to pot these up because they're outgrowing their initial little 4-inch pots that they came in. So an easy way to tell when it's time to pot up your African violets is when this growth gets more than 2 to 3 inches outside the original pot that they in. So this is a 4-inch pot, and as you can see, we are a good, maybe 3 to 4 inches outside there. So we're about an inch, inch and a half over, and we have all this new growth that's coming in. As you can see, the flowers have kind of died back a little bit, and so this is a good time to kind of take them out, put them into a bigger pot. We're gonna move them into a 6-inch pot. African violets do require specific soil requirements. So what I'm going to be using here is this Espoma Organic African Violet. You can find this at your garden store. It's relatively cheap. It puts them in great drainage and aeration because these do not like to have water sit on their leaves. They are bottom fed. That's what the biggest recommendation is. So when you're watering them, make sure you water them from the bottom, literally just setting them in a bowl full of water, put them in there, let them sit for an hour, hour and a half, let that soil and those roots soak up the water, and then take them out and they're good to go. All right, so take your new pot that you want to pot them up into, so your bigger pot, fill it to about maybe half to a third full of your dirt. And what I do with these is the day or two prior, I will have them obviously watered so they're moist, they're ready to go, so it's not as big of a shock for them. And then what we're going to do is literally just start squeezing, pull this out, take this whole thing here, and we're going to plop it into our new plot, so our new pot. It's going to look like that. What I'll do now is we'll go in and we'll backfill all this around and get everything up to where it needs to be. I'm going to pot this one up real quick, backfill all these, and I will show you the finished product. And so here is our finished product. I just took a bigger bowl, filled it with water so it can water feed or water from the bottom, so bottom feed up. That way we want all this to wick up through, right, and soak up into those roots. Again, that's why I have these kind of pre-moistened before I transplant them, so it's not as big of a shock. So there you all have it, a simple indoor gardening thing. I hope if you guys are ever looking into kind of doing more indoor gardening, start with African violets. The maintenance is minimal, especially in the winter. I maybe water these maybe once every 14 to 17 days, maybe, almost going on 3 weeks between waterings. And they're doing really well. Once it gets a little bit warmer out, I kind of will move them outside so they can have more of that natural sunlight, but not indirect sunlight because they will burn. But if you're ever considering looking into some indoor plants, start with African violets. Super low maintenance, super easy to care for. Hope you guys like and subscribe this video. Hope you found this insightful. If you did, give it a share to somebody, maybe a gardener who's looking to do some things indoors. And we'll see you guys next time.